Okay guys, first time I've done this, so bear with me here. We're going to be removing our DMS from our Skeeter boat. I've got a 22i class, and on this back quarter panel of the rear deck, there's 4 holes where screws hold this in. So you simply find them and back out these 4 screws. You simply find them first. All right, once you've got that done, you can grab this panel and simply flip it over, and there's your DMS box. So we're going to need a few tools to work on this. We're going to need to pull the 2 power sources, and we're going to need to pull the wiring connection. So I have an 11mm socket that I'm going to use to pull the power connections off. First is the positive, and since it is positive, I always like to keep a piece of electrical tape around, just kind of avoid any problems. And then I'll do the negative, and I'm going to retain that hardware. The next thing we're going to do is the actual connector itself. For that, we're going to use a 5/32 Allen, and very slowly back that connector pin off. And as you can see, comes off pretty simple, stays intact, and we're going to kind of let that lay out of the way right there. Now you see why I taped that off. Now we've got to pull these mounting brackets off. And they're a little bit smaller. Let's see. Sorry to be having you. All right, so I'm going to just go with a 3/8. So we'll back that one off. Back that one off. Take the bracket off, lay it aside. Do the same thing again. Take the bracket off and lay it aside. And you simply reach down and lift up, and you've got your old DMS off the unit. And you set it off to the side. Take these 4 mounting screws, keep them in contact. Then you bring your new DMS unit in, install it on those same 4 mounting screws. And once we've got this back on, since the original brackets won't work, what I've done is gone out and got some washers, some big flat washers. It's probably got about a little over the size of the screw hole. Place these over each of the mounting nuts or mounting screws. Place the mounting nuts back on. And they're nylocks on mine. And then simply run them down very gently. Keep the module flat against the unit. As it tightens, you'll feel it cinching up. All right, then I'll give it a click. I'm using a number 10 on a DeWalt. So that's got the unit secure. Now I'm going to remove the nuts that came with the unit. And at this point, we're going to go back and reinstall. So when the unit comes in, it has a little plastic cap that protects the pins. So you have to pull that off, and if you'll notice, there's a slot on these male pins and a post on the female pins, so you can't put it in backwards unless that slot, that little pin right here, is broken off. So just look at that when you pull it out. Okay, so now that we've got this module ready, we're going to gently set it in place. I recommend getting a 5/32 T-Allen to where you can feel the contact. The first time it's a little stiff, but it will go down till it's tight, and we have it tight. So now these are all the wires going to all the components of the boat, live wells, lights, etc., etc. So now we're going to come back to our power. Get our little star washers off here. And we'll put our connections back on. So that's our negative. And we'll tighten that up first. So we've got a good connection. Then we'll go over here, remove the tape from our positive side. Place it on. I just heard clicks. We're going to play runaway nut. And I'll get that nut on there for you. And there we are. And then we tighten it down. Now, you've replaced your your DCM, your digital control module, with the new Blink PC21B. It's as simple as that. You simply flip this back over, place it back in the corner, and you're done. Now just to test it. More to come.